You've been doing your best, eating healthier, staying active, making good choices. Maybe you even start your mornings with a bowl of fruit, believing you're giving your body the natural fuel it needs. But here's the strange part. Despite your efforts, your legs still feel weaker. Maybe you've noticed more fatigue going up the stairs, or you find yourself holding onto furniture when walking across the room. You ask yourself, why do my legs feel tired even though I'm eating so well? The truth might surprise you. Not all fruits are as innocent as they seem, especially as we age. Some of the most popular, colorful, and refreshing fruits can quietly raise blood sugar levels, increase inflammation, or interfere with muscle function and circulation. You don't feel it right away. There's no warning label. But over time, your legs may be paying the price. This video isn't here to scare you. It's here to inform you. Because while fruits are filled with vitamins and fiber, certain fruits, especially in large amounts or without balance, can actually contribute to muscle weakness, joint stiffness, and a sense of imbalance that creeps in as the years go by. And if you've been eating these fruits daily without knowing their hidden effects, you may be unintentionally holding yourself back from feeling strong and steady. But there's good news too. You don't have to give up fruit altogether. Far from it. In this video, we'll uncover 7 common fruits that may be weakening your legs, along with gentle, practical advice on how to enjoy smarter alternatives that support leg strength, stability, and long-term energy. No drastic diets, no guilt, just knowledge, and the freedom to choose what really helps your body thrive. So if you've ever felt that your legs don't have the same get up and go they used to, if you're tired of blaming aging and ready to take a closer look at what's really going on, this video is for you. You might be surprised by how one simple change in your fruit bowl could help you feel stronger, steadier, and more confident on your feet again. I know you are a person who likes to watch videos quietly. If you have not liked and subscribed to the channel, now is a good time to do it because you are a kind person. If the video is helpful, press 1. If the video is not good enough or needs improvement, press 2. Thanks everyone. Now let's get started. Number 1. Bananas. Too much of a good thing. For years, George began his morning with a banana. He believed it was the healthiest way to start the day. Simple, natural, and packed with potassium. Keeps the cramps away, he'd say. And for a long time, it seemed to help. But over the past year, George noticed something strange. His legs felt heavier, especially in the afternoon. He moved slower, needed to rest more often, and even found himself stumbling occasionally. Not badly, but enough to scare him. At first, he thought it was just aging. But during a routine checkup, his doctor asked a simple question: how much fruit do you eat each day? Bananas are often praised, and rightly so, for their potassium, fiber, and convenience. But for older adults, eating them too frequently or in large amounts can cause unexpected issues. Bananas are high in natural sugar and starch, which means they have a moderate to high glycemic load, especially when they're overripe. That means after eating one, your blood sugar can spike quickly. And when it spikes, your body releases insulin to bring it back down. This sudden rise and fall in blood sugar can leave you feeling tired, lightheaded, and even unsteady on your feet, particularly in the legs. Over time, if this becomes a daily habit, especially without balancing it with protein or healthy fat, your energy levels may dip, your muscles may not get the steady fuel they need, and your coordination can quietly suffer. For seniors with diabetes, prediabetes, or insulin resistance, which many don't even know they have, this effect can be even more pronounced. It's not that bananas are bad. In fact, in moderation, and eaten alongside other foods, they can be part of a healthy diet. But relying on bananas as a daily go-to snack, especially without considering how your body processes sugar with age, can contribute to that feeling of weak, wobbly legs many older adults describe. George didn't stop eating bananas altogether, but he started cutting them in half and pairing them with a handful of walnuts or a boiled egg. He also began alternating with lower sugar fruits like berries. Within a few weeks, his energy returned, and he noticed he wasn't reaching for the armrest every time he got up. So let me ask you gently, have you been eating bananas every day, thinking they're helping your body, when in fact, they might be quietly making your legs feel weaker? In the next part, we'll talk about a fruit that seems light and hydrating, but may be secretly causing blood sugar crashes and muscle fatigue. Watermelon. Number 2. Watermelon. Hydrating, but high glycemic. Mary always believed she was making the smart choice. While others reached for cookies or chips, she stayed loyal to her favorite snack, a big bowl of cold watermelon. Especially on warm days, it felt like nature's perfect treat. Sweet, juicy, and low in calories. She'd often eat it in the afternoon when her energy dipped, thinking it would perk her up. But something strange began happening. After eating watermelon, she didn't feel more energetic. In fact, she felt more tired. Her legs felt heavy, her knees stiff, and walking down the hallway sometimes made her pause and catch her breath. She wondered if it was just age, but the truth was, the very thing she thought was helping her might have been quietly working against her. You see, watermelon, while full of water and refreshing on the tongue, is also a high glycemic fruit. That means it causes your blood sugar to rise very quickly, especially when eaten alone, on an empty stomach. For someone younger with a fast metabolism, this isn't a big issue. But for older adults whose insulin response is often slower and less efficient, that sudden sugar spike can cause a crash in energy. A crash that your legs, muscles, and nerves can feel more than you think. When blood sugar rises and falls rapidly, it affects more than just your mood or focus. It can also influence your circulation, muscle endurance, and even balance. Your body may not deliver oxygen and nutrients to your leg muscles as steadily. You may feel a little wobbly or find that standing up from a chair takes more effort than usual. For people with prediabetes or those who've never been tested but notice leg weakness, watermelon in large portions might be part of the puzzle. And it's not just the sugar. Watermelon is low in fiber, which means it enters your bloodstream fast. There's nothing in it to slow the absorption. No fat, no protein, no complex carbs, just sugar and water. It's refreshing, yes, but it's also like pouring syrup into a system that needs slow, steady fuel. When Mary learned about this, she didn't stop eating watermelon entirely, but she made small changes. Instead of a full bowl, she had a few cubes. Instead of eating it alone, she paired it with a few slices of cheese or some walnuts. These small choices gave her energy that lasted longer, and her legs no longer felt like they were dragging through molasses. So if you're someone who enjoys watermelon regularly, I want to gently ask, have you ever noticed feeling more tired or unsteady after eating it? It's not your fault. Your body isn't doing something wrong. It's simply asking for better balance. Watermelon can still be part of your life, but in portions that refresh without overwhelming. In the next part, we'll explore a fruit that's often praised for its antioxidants, but might be delivering more sugar than your legs can handle. Grapes. Number 3, grapes. Small fruit, big sugar load. Every evening after dinner, Mr. Thomas liked to sit by the window with a small bowl of grapes. It was his quiet ritual. He'd pop them one by one while watching the sunset, feeling good about choosing something natural instead of ice cream or pie. But lately he had started to notice something troubling. When he stood up, his legs felt stiff. When he walked to the mailbox, they felt slower, almost like they had weights around the ankles. His doctor said his heart was fine, his blood pressure was stable. So what was going on? The answer, surprisingly, might have been sitting right in that little bowl beside him. Grapes are sweet, refreshing, and full of antioxidants like resveratrol, which is good for heart health. But they also come with a hidden cost, a very high natural sugar content. In fact, just 1 cup of grapes can contain as much sugar as a glazed donut. Except most people don't think of it that way because grapes are fruit. But for older adults, especially those who snack on grapes daily, that sugar adds up fast. The problem isn't just the amount of sugar, it's how quickly your body absorbs it. Grapes have very little fiber, so the natural sugars, mainly fructose and glucose, go straight into your bloodstream. That sugar spike may give you a momentary boost, but it's usually followed by an insulin response that brings your energy down, and your legs feel it first. You might not connect your unsteady walking or leg heaviness to something as small and innocent as grapes, but your body does. Over time, frequent high sugar intake, especially in the form of easy-to-snack fruits like grapes, can lead to chronic inflammation, especially in joints and muscles. And inflammation doesn't just hurt, it weakens. It quietly erodes the strength and stability in the legs, making you more prone to fatigue, imbalance, and even falls. Mr. Thomas didn't have to give up grapes completely, but he learned to treat them like a treat, not a daily habit. He now eats a small handful just a couple times a week, and always with something that slows the sugar absorption, like a slice of cheese or a few almonds. Since then, he's noticed his legs don't feel as heavy. He moves more easily and with more confidence. So let me ask you gently, have you been eating grapes every day, believing they're a safe, healthy snack, while your legs tell you otherwise? If so, it may be time to rethink the role they play in your diet. Small fruit doesn't mean small impact, especially when it comes to the strength of your legs. In the next part, we'll talk about a tropical favorite, mangoes, and how their bright sweetness may come with hidden consequences for muscle control and energy in older adults. Number 4, mangoes, tropical, sweet, and sneaky. Gloria always looked forward to summer, not for the weather, but for mango season. She loves slicing into a ripe golden mango and letting its sweetness melt on her tongue. It's fruit, it's natural, and it's delicious, she would say with a smile. And she wasn't wrong. Mangoes are rich in vitamin C, vitamin A, and antioxidants. But what Gloria didn't realize was that her favorite fruit might also be quietly stealing her energy, especially from her legs. Mangoes are one of the sweetest fruits on the planet, and they contain a very high amount of natural sugar, up to 45 grams in just one large mango. That's more sugar than a can of soda. While the sugar is natural, it still impacts your body the same way. It raises your blood glucose quickly, causing a sugar rush that feels energizing at first, followed by a sharp crash that often leaves the muscles, especially in the legs, feeling weak, unsteady, and low on fuel. What makes it sneaky is that mango feels light. It's soft, juicy, and doesn't seem heavy like cake or cookies. That's why many seniors eat it without guilt, and often without realizing they're getting a heavy glycemic load in a very small portion. For those with blood sugar issues, prediabetes, or who are already dealing with leg fatigue, mangoes can quietly worsen the problem. Over time, repeated spikes and crashes in glucose not only drain your energy, but also contribute to inflammation, which may make your knees ache and your walking feel sluggish. Gloria used to enjoy half a mango every morning with her breakfast smoothie, and then feel sleepy and slow by 11 a.m., especially in her legs. Once she learned the truth about mango's sugar content, she didn't stop enjoying it, but she became smarter about it. She now eats just a few slices, and only after a meal with protein and fiber, which helps slow the sugar absorption. The result? Her energy stays steady, and so do her legs. So I ask you gently, have you been enjoying mangoes, thinking they're a harmless treat, while wondering why your body, especially your lower body, feels drained after? The fruit may be sweet, but its effects on your legs aren't always so gentle. In the next part, we'll explore another tropical favorite that can be surprisingly harsh on your body over time: pineapple, with its acidity and sugar that can quietly worsen inflammation in muscles and joints. Number 5, pineapple, acidic and inflammatory. Harold had always prided himself on eating healthy. He had cut back on cookies, fried foods, and soda years ago. But there was one thing he never gave up: his nightly bowl of sweet, juicy pineapple. It had become a routine. After dinner, he'd sit in his favorite chair, fork in hand, and enjoy a big helping of fresh-cut chunks. "Better than dessert," he'd say, smiling. But over the past few months, he noticed something wasn't quite right. His knees ached more when he stood up, his calves felt tighter, and he was starting to feel a dull, throbbing heaviness in his legs, especially in the evenings. At first, he blamed the weather. Then, he thought maybe he had overdone it with yard work. But nothing had changed, except perhaps what he was putting on his plate. When he mentioned it casually to his doctor, the doctor asked him something Harold had never considered. "Do you eat pineapple often?" Pineapple seems like a harmless and even helpful choice. It's packed with vitamin C, It's naturally sweet, and it contains bromelain, an enzyme known to support digestion. But here's what many people don't know. The type of bromelain that actually reduces inflammation is mostly found in the tough stem of the pineapple, not in the soft, sweet fruit. And while pineapple does have some health benefits, it also brings with it two potential problems: a high sugar load and a strong acidic profile. The natural sugar in pineapple is still sugar. For older adults, especially those who are pre-diabetic or insulin sensitive, this sugar can cause rapid spikes and crashes in blood glucose, which we now know affects muscle control, leg strength, and balance. But more than that, the acidity of pineapple, especially when consumed regularly, can irritate soft tissues in the body and contribute to downgrade inflammation, particularly in the joints. And that's the part many people miss. Inflammation isn't always loud. It can show up as stiffness in the knees when you wake up, or a dull ache in your thighs at the end of the day, or a feeling like your legs are slower than your mind wants them to be. And if you're already managing arthritis or neuropathy, acidic fruits like pineapple may quietly be adding fuel to the fire. For Harold, this was a turning point. He didn't need to give up pineapple forever, but he did need to pay attention to what his body was telling him. He began eating it only once or twice a week, and always after a meal, never on an empty stomach. He started choosing lower acid fruits like berries or kiwi more often. Within a few weeks, his legs didn't feel as heavy, and the swelling in his knees had noticeably decreased. He still had his evening ritual, just a little wiser now. So let me ask you gently, have you been enjoying pineapple regularly, believing it's the healthy choice, while your body, particularly your legs, is quietly asking for something else? You're not doing anything wrong, but your body may be asking for more balance, less acidity, and less sugar than you realize. In the next part, we'll take a closer look at a fruit that's found in almost every pantry, but often in canned form, soaked in syrup that can slowly drain your leg strength without warning. Canned fruits. Number 6. Canned fruits in syrup. Sugar bombs in disguise that slowly weaken your legs. For many years, Mrs. Irene believed she was making a smart choice. While her neighbors baked pies or stocked up on ice cream, she proudly reached for her pantry shelf and pulled down a can of fruit. Whether it was peaches, pears, or fruit cocktail, she always had a few cans on hand. It's fruit, she'd tell herself. It's natural. It has vitamins. Most nights after dinner, she'd pour a few spoonfuls into a bowl, syrup and all, and enjoy it like a healthy dessert. But in recent months, she noticed something that worried her. Her ankles had started to swell. Her knees ached more when she stood. Her legs didn't feel as steady. At first, she blamed the weather or thought maybe it was just aging. But something deeper was going on, something hiding in that syrupy sweetness she'd trusted for so long. You see, canned fruits and syrup are one of the most deceptive foods in a senior's diet. On the outside, they look healthy. Fruits are supposed to be good for you, after all. But when packed in heavy syrup, these fruits become soaked in refined sugar, often corn syrup or concentrated sweeteners that the body struggles to process, especially as we age. Just half a cup of canned peaches in heavy syrup can contain up to 25 grams of sugar. That's about 6 teaspoons of sugar in just a few bites. And while it may not taste like candy, it behaves the same way inside your body. That much sugar triggers a spike in blood glucose, followed by an energy crash. This crash doesn't just leave you tired. It affects your muscles, especially in your legs, making them feel weak, unsteady, and slow to respond. But the problem doesn't stop there. Excess sugar in the bloodstream also fuels inflammation. Over time, this inflammation can quietly affect your joints, especially the knees and hips. It can reduce circulation in the lower limbs, limit the oxygen your muscles receive, and even contribute to that constant heavy leg feeling that so many seniors describe but can't quite explain. Mrs. Irene didn't want to believe it at first, but when her doctor gently walked her through the numbers, she was stunned. Her nightly fruit bowl had more sugar than a donut. No wonder her legs were slowing. The good news? She didn't have to give up fruit, just the syrup. She began switching to canned fruits packed in 100% juice or water, draining them before serving. Eventually, she discovered she enjoyed frozen berries even more. No added sugar, no hidden syrup, and over time, the swelling in her ankles lessened, her legs felt more stable, and most importantly, she felt proud of herself for making a small, smart change that brought big results. So let me ask you gently, have you been reaching for canned fruit because it's easy, familiar, or comforting, without realizing how much sugar is hidden in every bite? You're not alone, but now you know, and that's powerful. Your legs deserve better fuel, fuel that strengthens, not weakens. In the next part, we'll talk about a drink that seems healthy, even pure, but can actually flood your system with sugar and drain your strength faster than you think. Fruit juices. Number 7. Fruit juices, no fiber, all sugar. That drains muscle power. Mr. Leonard had always prided himself on skipping soda. Too much sugar, he'd say, waving it away. Instead, he poured himself a big glass of orange juice every morning, sometimes another in the afternoon. Apple juice in the evening was his favorite light treat before bed. He believed he was doing the right thing. Fruit juice is natural, right? Full of vitamins, better than soft drinks. But after a few months of this routine, he noticed something wasn't right. His legs felt slower. He had more cramps in his calves. He started getting winded on short walks. And worse, he felt a little shaky getting out of bed. He never imagined that the culprit could be the very juice he thought was keeping him healthy. Fruit juices are one of the most misunderstood parts of a healthy diet, especially for older adults. They're colorful, refreshing, and labeled with words like 100% natural and no added sugar. But here's what's often hidden behind that label. Even unsweetened fruit juice contains high concentrations of natural sugar and almost no fiber to balance it out. Let's take orange juice as an example. Just one 8-ounce glass contains around 21 grams of sugar, or more than 5 teaspoons. That's about the same as a cola. Apple juice, even higher. And without fiber, which whole fruits naturally have, that sugar rushes straight into your bloodstream. Your blood sugar spikes rapidly, insulin kicks in, and not long after, you crash. And when that crash comes, your muscles, especially in your legs, feel it first. Why? Because your legs are where much of your energy is spent throughout the day. Getting up, walking, standing. And when your energy dips, or your insulin fluctuates, your legs may become wobbly, fatigued, or crampy. Over time, daily juice consumption, without the support of protein, fiber, or healthy fat, can weaken muscle endurance, especially in older adults who are already losing muscle mass due to age. What's more, too much juice can silently feed inflammation, particularly in people with prediabetes or blood sugar sensitivity. This inflammation can make your joints feel stiffer and your steps feel heavier. And sadly, many people don't link it back to their healthy morning juice. That's exactly what happened to Mr. Leonard. When his nutritionist helped him review his sugar intake, he realized he was getting nearly 60 grams of sugar a day, just from juice. That's more than double what most adults need, especially those trying to preserve leg strength and muscle tone. Once he swapped out his orange juice for a whole orange with a handful of walnuts and replaced his evening apple juice with water infused with a cinnamon stick, the changes came quickly. His leg cramps reduced. He walked farther without tiring. And best of all, he felt steady again. So let me ask you gently, have you been drinking fruit juice daily, thinking it's helping your health, while your legs quietly tell a different story? If so, please remember, even natural sugar can become harmful when stripped of fiber. You don't have to give up fruit. You just need to return to its original form. Eat the orange. Eat the apple. Let the fiber slow the sugar, and your legs will thank you with every strong, confident step. In the final part, we'll talk about how to turn everything we've learned into smarter fruit choices that truly support your strength, stability, and energy, without giving up flavor or joy. Number 7. Fruit juices. No fiber, all sugar. That drains muscle power. Mr. Leonard had always prided himself on skipping soda. Too much sugar, he'd say, waving it away. Instead, he poured himself a big glass of orange juice every morning, sometimes another in the afternoon. Apple juice in the evening was his favorite light treat before bed. He believed he was doing the right thing. Fruit juice is natural, right? Full of vitamins. Better than soft drinks. But after a few months of this routine, he noticed something wasn't right. His legs felt slower. He had more cramps in his calves. He started getting winded on short walks, and worse, he felt a little shaky getting out of bed. He never imagined that the culprit could be the very juice he thought was keeping him healthy. Fruit juices are one of the most misunderstood parts of a healthy diet, especially for older adults. They're colorful, refreshing, and labeled with words like 100% natural and no added sugar. But here's what's often hidden behind that label. Even unsweetened fruit juice contains high concentrations of natural sugar and almost no fiber to balance it out. Let's take orange juice as an example. Just one 8-ounce glass contains around 21 grams of sugar, or more than 5 teaspoons. That's about the same as a cola. Apple juice, even higher. And without fiber, which whole fruits naturally have, that sugar rushes straight into your bloodstream. Your blood sugar spikes rapidly, insulin kicks in, and not long after, you crash. And when that crash comes, your muscles, especially in your legs, feel it first. Why? Because your legs are where much of your energy is spent throughout the day, getting up, walking, standing. And when your energy dips or your insulin fluctuates, your legs may become wobbly, fatigued, or crampy. Over time, daily juice consumption without the support of protein, fiber, or healthy fat can weaken muscle endurance, especially in older adults who are already losing muscle mass due to age. What's more, too much juice can silently feed inflammation, particularly in people with prediabetes or blood sugar sensitivity. This inflammation can make your joints feel stiffer and your steps feel heavier. And sadly, many people don't link it back to their healthy morning juice. That's exactly what happened to Mr. Leonard. When his nutritionist helped him review his sugar intake, he realized he was getting nearly 60 grams of sugar a day, just from juice. That's more than double what most adults need, especially those trying to preserve leg strength and muscle tone. Once he swapped out his orange juice for a whole orange with a handful of walnuts and replaced his evening apple juice with water infused with a cinnamon stick, the changes came quickly. His leg cramps reduced. He walked farther without tiring. And best of all, he felt steady again. So let me ask you gently, have you been drinking fruit juice daily, thinking it's helping your health, while your legs quietly tell a different story? If so, please remember, even natural sugar can become harmful when stripped of fiber. You don't have to give up fruit. You just need to return to its original form. Eat the orange, eat the apple. Let the fiber slow the sugar, and your legs will thank you with every strong, confident step. In the final part, we'll talk about how to turn everything we've learned into smarter fruit choices that truly support your strength, stability, and energy without giving up flavor or joy. As we reach our golden years, we may find that our bodies don't always respond the way they used to. Things we took for granted, like walking, standing up, or even climbing the stairs, can become more challenging. But here's the good news. You have the power to change how you feel. With small, thoughtful changes in your diet, you can regain strength, improve your balance, and feel more confident on your feet every day. Throughout this video, we've discussed how certain fruits, while delicious and healthy in moderation, can have hidden effects on your blood sugar, muscle strength, and leg health, especially when eaten too frequently. But by choosing fruits that are rich in fiber, antioxidants, and healthy fats, you can nourish your legs and body in a way that supports strength, mobility, and overall wellness. You don't have to eliminate fruit or give up the foods you love. It's about balance, moderation, and choosing the right fruits that help you feel your best. Start small, switching a few of your daily choices, like swapping canned fruit for fresh, or replacing fruit juice with whole fruit. In just a short time, you'll likely notice a difference in how your legs feel, how much energy you have, and how confident you are in your movements. Remember, you are in control. Every small step you take toward making better food choices is a step toward better health. Your legs deserve to be strong, your balance deserves to be stable, and you deserve to enjoy life with vitality and confidence. Thank you for watching and learning with us. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe to the channel so we can continue to bring you more useful tips for healthy aging. If you have any questions or want to share your experiences, feel free to comment below. We'd love to hear from you. Take care, stay strong, and let's keep moving forward together, one healthy step at a time. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and haven't yet liked and subscribed, now is the perfect time to do so. It really helps our channel grow and reach more people who need this kind of helpful content. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you'll always know when a new video is up. Your support truly means the world to us. Take care, and we'll see you in the next video.